Today we're going to be talking about the latest addition to the TXC Performance Series. That is the Covert system. So you may be asking, what is Performance Series? The Performance Series is going to be encompassing the overt and the covert lines, because they're both born and bred and designed completely around competitive shooting and that high performance nature. Now, the covert is an AIWB system comprised of two parts. You have the holster for the gun and then the magazine carrier right beside it. Let's start with the holster. So when it comes to AIWB holster design, there's typically two factors that happen. One is going to be the comfort and concealability side, which, yes, they're great if those both are together. But then you sometimes lose, when you have that, the ability to have high performance, meaning I can get to that gun how I need and as fast as I need without something invasive getting in the way, be it the belt, the pants, the clothing, or sometimes the holster itself. What we try to do is really pull on that DNA from the Performance Series, which is the competitive line. How can we get these holsters to be concealable and comfortable, but also right on demand, perform exactly how we want, when we want, for that gun to come out at the fastest way possible? So to better explain the angles and the design behind what we're doing currently, we're going to go back a little bit in the DNA of the company. We're going to start with the beacon. So with the beacon, which is the original light-bearing option we have something called a mod wing. It would press up against your belt and your body and conceal the gun a little bit more. Great feature to have. And then we evolved from here in-house and designed something called the Helix, which provided a very similar angle and offset out of one machine part. But this was not light bearing. So what we did for the first time is take both designs from the DNA and bring it into the new material, new design, aggressive angles, and provide for the first time all of these features in one holster. Let's start by looking at the integrated Helix first. So on this design, you're going to notice it has an 8-degree outward angle, and then it's cammed inward 22 degrees if you look at it this way. This is replacing the mod wing and the Helix all in one integrated piece. The goal of these very specific angles, aside of concealment and comfort, is to actually create a mag well for the hand out of your belt and out of your pants. So when you look down at your holster, it's going to look like there's a flare where your hand is going to dive in. This accomplishes all of that for us. Now, to accommodate these very aggressive angles, we 3D printed a part on the back to keep this clip very aggressive and rigid. It's going to hold that position for you. And if you hold the holster like this, you'll notice this clip also has its own height and angle. When you combine all these features together, what you get is a holster that will float completely and independently between your belt and your pant and your body. All those features we talked about provide us the comfort and concealability that we need. Now we're going to dive into the actual performance aspect of the holster. A common problem we had that we wanted to defeat with this new design was how to manage this thumb, providing a proper grip and getting back behind the gun during the draw process when we're snatching the gun out. Well, what we did was we created a wedge at a pronounced angle that's going to go directly underneath the belly button or right up against it. What that does is it creates a gap for that thumb to dive behind the gun and actually provide a proper grip the moment we grab it. This provides an air gap for the thumb. That immediately remedies the problem of normally having to throw your thumb on the back of the gun or kind of waiting to seat our grip until we have it out far enough. Problem solved. Another aspect of performance that we prefer in the competition realm that's now going to bleed over into the AIWB world is there's nothing between this undercut of the trigger guard and my hand. I have no holster that's going to interfere. So when you grab here, your clips are completely separated based on the Helix angle. You have nothing that's going to interfere with your hands. And you also have no material between you and that gun to get your best grip. The moment you grab it, you have your grip built. Now on the 2011s, this isn't shown here, but this wedge for the thumb on the back of the actual holster is actually housing the thumb safety. So when you go to build your grip on that void, as you remove the gun, you can choose to disengage the safety immediately if you want to. When it comes to tuning the tension, we have adjustable slots on the full-size frames that you can kind of get more click or snap or squeeze out of the holster depending on what your preference is. Like for me, I run my holster fairly loose because I'm not rappelling and I want this thing to come out very quickly. Now let's get to the mag carrier that's included in this system. One of the first departures you're going to notice from the current DNA we have on our products is the mag carrier is independent. It is not connected in any way to the holster itself. We wanted to accomplish some of the comfort and concealability portions by keeping those independent. So when you're wearing them, they are free to move in any range of motion you have on your pant or your belt. So when you move, the actual holster itself moves with you. It's not connected and causing kind of a rigid block at times on your body. That's how we accomplish that comfort and concealment on its own. Now we're going to highlight the features on these mag carriers that pull out the performance aspect. Much like its OWB counterpart, the Overt in the Performance series, you'll notice that these magazine carriers can also be canted to match those same angles. So the guys in competition and performance side that want this angle for a better purchase and faster draw, this now can match that up to 48 degrees. You can also run it on the lower portion, which will push the mag carrier and the magazine up a little bit higher out of the pant or the waistline. Or you can run it on the higher portion, which drops it down into the pant for more concealability. If you look at it from the side, you'll notice these walls are going to be pushing the belt and the pant to kind of give you a little bit more space to actually get a grip on the magazine, which is really awesome. And I have a pretty large hand. This still allows me to get a complete purchase on the magazine and not interfere with the holster. You'll also notice that they are ambi. Depending on if you want to do some kind of unique setup, you can do that, or buy one and it service both. At the time of this video, we're only offering light bearing options. In the near future, we will be adding gun only options to the Covert system. It doesn't matter what you do for a living, whether you're a preacher, a pilot, a plumber, law enforcement, military, competitive shooter, or just someone that loves to exercise their right to carry. This system is here to help you perform at the highest level and never hold you back. The Covert system is available now at txcholsters.com. If you have any further questions, you can reach out on Instagram at txcholsters, or if you have any personal questions, you can reach out to me at Stuffs and Pews on Instagram. Let's get after it, guys.